Hey everybody, welcome to Best Family Homestead. Here with Robert. Kitten. More kittens. And they are entirely too old for that. Look at that. Look, that is a full-grown, like 2-year-old cat nursing on that mom. Seriously? Actually, that one's about 1-year-old. You guys are ridiculous. Anyway, so you guys seen we've already exposed these logs, and you can see over here a couple places. At night, you can see daylight in through some of these cracks. I didn't think that the boards that were up there really provided that much insulating factor. However, apparently they did, because it's been a little bit drafty. Especially having some of the boards pulled off up there where there's no insulation at the top. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to finish pulling, and hopefully I know I'm right, but hopefully the logs are as good a shape here. And actually, here, if you will do me the honors.
Yes, sir.
This section, so the original part of the log cabin should end right here. And we'll know more as we start taking these boards down. But we've crawled up in there. Some kind of interesting stuff up top too, going on up there. So over the next day or two, we are going to get the rest of this all exposed, get insulation put in between the logs, get everything prepped up for chinking, and get the chinking in. I think it's going to make a world of difference in how the old place looks. What do you think, Robert?
I think so. I can't wait.
Well, with that being said, let me take down the signs here and put them somewhere safe, and we will get to work. Alright, so this is getting kind of interesting. I wouldn't say necessarily dangerous, but it's getting interesting. So we're just going to keep going.
What did I do with mine?
Here's the Wonder Bar.
I had the other one. Big one. Best Family Homestead just made it. It takes and it gives away.
It giveth and it taketh away.
You didn't go.
It set it up top.
There it is.
Ah, there we go.
There it is. Look. Aaron, I dare you to stand under here while.
No.
No.
Now see, we are being safe enough that when it starts to go, we both stand back.
Yeah.
And wait. So as he goes on down. Oh, this is not going to be too bad. Got him!
Good dust storm there.
I wonder if we're going to be able to, I hope we're going to be able to get this one out from around that pin without pulling too much down.
Yeah, the lamps in the way of this one.
There we go. Let's be careful and not let it fall all the way down real fast. So we say.
194-year-old dust right there.
Yeah. So what we're looking at,
God.
and unfortunately, we started pulling this section back between these two doors, and it looks like when they added this window, there was a fire in the old house, and you can see where the original part of the cabin went all the way over to right there. But I still want to see what maybe is behind this wall. I have a feeling it's probably like that one if it's been taken down.
So I see a couple interesting things here too. This is a very old piece of wood right here.
Right.
You can see how it was, there's a terminology for that you used on the last one, but it wasn't milled, it was hand cut out.
Right.
Also very old cut nails right there. But over here, this is modern wood. So when they reframed this door, you know, something was going on here too. So that's just kind of interesting to me. I almost wonder if there wasn't some kind of original door space.
I know
here.
they moved something at some point. Like I said, I know this corner house had burned sometime around the turn of the century. So you can see a little bit of the scorching marks underneath of it, but no one really knows the extent.
And if we look right up there, and a lot of this really fascinates me from a historical standpoint, but you can see the end of the original cabin, and then of another very old extension where it keeps going that way, but it's the end of the logs.
Well,
so
there's
under here we should have logs.
There's only one way to find out.
Yeah. Let me know when you get it all pulled off. So I don't know if you guys will be able to see this on video or not. Aaron, will you point at it for me just in case? Squint your eyes and look close to the computer screen. Right there where Aaron just pointed, it looks like there's a little red laser dot almost up there. But it's actually the, what do you call that, sap?
The sap.
The sap that's turning into amber catching light reflection.
And I have no doubt
pretty cool.
Like that's not like, that's rock. Oh, I just knocked
off. You just broke the light.
Look, you can actually see you can see it. We'll take it out in the light. Yeah. But in another, I don't know, 10,000 years, this will turn from sap into an actual gemstone. Right now, it's just really hard. Actually, I'll come out here in the light. Look at that. It almost does look like a gemstone.
Yeah, it does. That's pretty neat. It really does. Especially when it catches the light.
Catches the light just a little bit.
Pretty.
So that's the beginning of amber.
It's amazing how red it is.
I know, it's like, yeah, bright red. I hope it comes through on the camera as good as it is here. I think what we might do is take it inside and put a light on it so we can get it to refract a little bit.
That'd be cool.
And it's hard, like it's already, it's not like tree sag, it's already about as hard as a rock. Yeah. Really hard.
That's cool.
Like it even breaks, you can even see the fractal points, like where it actually broke.
That's awesome.
That's cool. Alright, so me and Rob were stumped for a minute. Like, what the heck is this? Like, there's a piece of metal. Looks like they reused something over here. There's another piece, you know, kind of the same way. Like, what is that? Why did they reuse? Why did they reuse that wood? Or, you know, what was it supposed to do? It doesn't go anywhere. Then I got to looking at the length of the boards. So you're watching on a time lapse. These boards we pulled were, what, 15 foot long, probably, at least. Yeah. And then if you look over here, you know, this whole porch was obviously built at the same time. These boards go down to like 6 foot. And since they would have started up next to the wall, what happened was they got here, they had one more or a couple more long boards, but then they only had short boards. So they had to be able to have something to nail the ends of the short board to the long board to. Yep, you can see right here where they nailed it there, there, and there to get the hold. And I think what happened here was Somebody go to that old wagon or that old, you know, farm utensil. Somebody go over there and cut some of that shit off because we don't have any more new wood. So they just found something they had. It looks like a pretty rough cut right there on the back side.
Yeah, this is an old piece of wood.
Yeah, and they didn't even take the time to, like, probably the bolt was stripped or, you know, something like that. So they just left a piece of metal up there. Like, yeah, that'll work. That'll brace the ends of it.
That's pretty neat. I wonder what it originally went to. Cause
I have who knows.
Piece of history right there.
You know, just you gotta love the ingenuity. They used what they had, and no matter what, they made it work. Oh yeah, let's look at some of these. So, here you go, Robert.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
That's a perfect example.
Yeah, it's a wood cedar shingle.
That's
right
why it's
there.
one of the original shingles. You can see them sticking up before you put the tin underneath the purlins that go this way.
This is what all of the houses would have been roofed in this area back then.
I want you to know that this isn't, just so you appreciate the time, that's not a flat split. They actually use special wedges and split these things into a wedge so that they fit underneath of each other. And
yeah, there we go.
Yep.
So it would have been just like it's almost the same idea as modern shingles, you know? You would have had it.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what we're going to do is I'm going to save all these that fall down and make a little example of what an old shingle roof would look like.
Because these are old. These are cool pieces.
Those are definitely old. Alright, so these are the floors in the original log cabin. Now, if they were put down right when the log cabin was put in, I'm not sure, but it follows a timeline. And you come into the kitchen, and that dog still got into a bag of toothpicks. You can see these logs, and if you come up, see, this is the outside wall of the original log cabin. And then up here, this is the same stuff as the floor in here, which is also the same stuff as the ceiling out on that porch we're pulling down. So that's kind of how I follow the timeline of the house. This was around 1880. The kitchen addition of porch around 1880, or probably 1890, 1900, when the Keens bought it and started working on it. Now you can see in here too, especially where these logs have been much better preserved, because the past 120 years they've been under siding or inside, and you can see all the marks, the hand axe marks and everything in here. Really, really cool. So we'll go back outside and I'm going to show you my theory on what happened as to why we found some of the weird bracing and whatnot up at the on the porch. All right, so I was talking about the long boards. When they started roofing this, they would have just naturally started up next to the wall and started going towards the outside. So this one and this one, and then that way were the last of the long boards they had. And then what I'm pretty sure happened is, we're really short on long boards. So they started cutting these boards. Probably had some that were maybe, a little bit longer left over from the floor in the kitchen and everything. So that's why this big board here was up here, so they had something to nail the ends to. And then, they kept going further out and probably started running even shorter on those boards. And that's where they came to cutting up random farm implements. Honestly, I have no clue, but they just needed to be able to have something to fasten the two ends of the boards together. So, not a lot of money, so they made do with what they had. Really cool. They got it done. More of those cedar. These might be cedar. I'm not saying one down. They might be pine, but generally they did use cedar for all their shingles. So I'm gonna sand one of these down and see exactly what it's made out of here shortly.
So it got a little interesting pulling this last board off of these because the what do you call these, joists? Is that the right word? Started moving. What was causing it? I can't see.
How about here? You can see because there wasn't any logs left.
Yeah.
Like so that screen door ended the last of the logs.
Right.
So these were just set
Oh,
on
I see.
that. So
Oh,
they started
yeah.
going up. So all we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and jerk this board down. And I'm going to use some modern technology and some 4-inch screws. I'm going to screw these in over here to help support them, and probably make some extra bracing up in here to take care of that. It's just stuff you get into with an old house. You know, you never know who did what and you know what resources they had to do it.
It's very fascinating to see the design changes between this obvious different build. You know, again, it's almost like there's 3 houses here. There's a log cabin, there's this addition, and then there's this addition. This is what, from the 80s, 90s?
That addition was the late 90s, and it's nothing special. It's just a master bedroom someone built on. Like that's all concrete board. You know, it's all new construct. Well, you consider new construction compared to this.
Yeah.
I think from what I've dated in this old place, because there was the kitchen addition that we looked at a little bit ago, this porch, my son's bedroom, which was about here, upstairs, this. What I count, there's between 5 and 6 additions. So there's your original log cabin there to the end, and then pretty much almost like clockwork, every 20-30 years something else has been added on. You know, since the 90s. You know, I got the place 2 years ago. Now I don't know if I'm gonna add on, but you know, I'm gonna go back and fix a lot of the other stuff and make it better and preserve it. So real interesting here in the South, some of these houses 20-30 years, almost like clockwork. Someone's added the bedroom or upgrade something and tries to make it a little bit better. So,
And it makes it really interesting, especially working on a structure like this, where you've got, it's almost like you're working with 3 different structures, you know, at least on this side, or 2, I guess, on this side. We've got original log cabin and that, and just to see, you know, suddenly radically different construction
just crazy
changes.
different. All right, guys. So we got all the ceiling off. A lot of old, interesting secrets up here still to be revealed. I've got to figure out. Let me show you guys what we're doing with the wiring. Wait, no. All right.
On the next video.
Because we would have. Yeah, because on the wiring we went to. We had to finish pulling the roof down to get to the wiring.
Yep.
So the next video we'll be showing what we did with the wiring, that exposed wiring we had, getting all that straightened up and safe. And then we still have some more logs, hopefully, to expose. Insulation, chinking the logs, and really just a whole lot of work. Well, welcome to life at an old farmhouse, old homestead. Never a dull moment, and you never know what you're going to find. What do you think, Robert?
I think it's cool, man. I love uncovering all the mysteries, all the differences, all the changes in construction. I just love this stuff, and I mean, standing right here, just can really appreciate these 2 buildings, these 2 timelines.
Yeah,
Cool
actually,
stuff.
like you're standing here, you can see almost 200 full years of timelines from right here to right here to right over there.
Sounds good. It's awesome. It's awesome, man.
It is cool. I love seeing it. At the same time, I see a lot of work.
Well, speaking of work, we're about to close out this video, and then we're gonna go expose some more logs on an upcoming video. So
that's it, guys. Hey, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned because there's a lot more just under this front porch here coming up. I'm hoping to have this all ready for sitting and I don't know, maybe having a barbecue out here in the next couple weeks.